Good evening, everyone. It is the APAT show, Sunday night, 9:30, of course. Lee, we were talking just before we went on with the stream. There's a lot happening tonight, right?
It's super busy, isn't it? Super busy to the point where everything's going laggy on me. I will share it into the group in a minute. So if I'm still typing whilst we're chatting, it will. But yeah, it's a busy old one. It's like Vegas. There's stuff. Apparently, there's stuff going on in Vegas. I don't know whether you're aware of it.
Vegas,
but apparently,
Lee, what's going on over there?
Yeah, yeah. There's some poker stuff, nonsense going on over there. So that's keeping everybody busy. But yeah, there's loads going on in the UK. There's a big event up in Edinburgh, big event in Manchester, big event in Nottingham, even a big event in Walsall. Remember we went to Walsall?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even a big event in Walsall. So loads going on at the moment, of course, and it's also been a glorious week in the UK as well. I don't know how it's been with you, Des, but you're quite close to Gatwick Airport, and yesterday Gatwick was the hottest place on the planet, wasn't it? Yeah. Pretty much. So
it was. I think it was 31 here yesterday. It was oppressively hot. I don't know if Gatwick was maybe even at 1 or 2 degrees north of that.
I think the airports tend to get the extra couple of degrees because it's all concrete and all that kind of thing, isn't it? Yeah. So that is always the case. But yeah, loads going on. But hey, with all of that still happening, doesn't stop us from running a satellite on groverpoker.com, and that is exactly what we are doing. And because there's been so much going on, we had a little bit of a delayed start, a bit like Dusk Till Dawn this afternoon. They had a bit of road blockages around Dusk Till Dawn this afternoon, so they delayed the kickoff to their event. If you've been watching the football from the States, there's been a whole load of delays due to weather and goodness knows what going on, thunderstorms and everything delaying. All interesting. We'll talk about that later on, about how that's going to impact the World Cup this time next year in that very country, because they're already talking about it now and going, well, hang on, we're having all these problems
having delays for that. No.
Yeah, and they've had games delayed by a couple of hours. They've had literally taken players off the pitch and whatnot because of that. But
wow,
anyway, right, that's been shared into the group. So hopefully, if any guys will be picking up in the group, but I can see loads of people in the chat already anyway. But what we should say is, slight delay on the satellite, about 15-minute delay before we got that up and running. We've got 7 players currently sat down. We had 9 entries in this so far, 1 more, so it's still a little bit of value at the moment. We got 20 entries this time last week, so hopefully we'll get them. I can see a bunch of players late regging in once we've gone live with the stream. The double top 40, for example, who's got himself in there. Oh, and Simon Lawler just confirming. I just saw you pop that up on the screen about the car crash in Nottingham. Hopefully everyone was okay and nothing too serious. But anyway, the satellite has still got. Normally I'm saying you've got about 5 minutes, you've got about 6 minutes or whatever. You've actually got 26 minutes. It's gonna go till just after the break at 5 to the hour.
Brilliant.
So
okay.
Because of the delayed start. So you've got about 26 minutes if you want to get involved in this. Still a little bit of value in it at the moment, because we're guaranteeing, Des and I, we guarantee a seat each in this every Sunday.
Do we?
Mine's been covered because I get the first 5. Des, unfortunately, he's a player short. I don't know what to say.
I'm pretty confident. Guys, I'm going to get there, Lee. I'm confident.
Don't let him down. The Duffy children need to eat this week.
Get out there onto Facebook and Twitter, guys. Please put an appeal out for me. Say, Des is round. We don't want him to have to buy that. Listen, if there is anyone out there in the chat box who could advise me.
Look at this. Steve 40 causing bother straight away.
Look at all that colour.
Up against the ace 9 of Hot Rooster, 9 on the flop. So Hot Rooster is in a good spot until those hearts hit. And Steve 40 has literally sat down with 5K's worth of chips, and he's now second in chips, got just over 11,000. Top 2 get a seat in this. Now, Steve messaged me earlier on, and his words were something along the lines of, I don't want to reg early. Dara's told me late regging is the way forward for this, and he's already proven, it's worked well.
Works.
One double up, and he's gone from a starting stack to in the prize positions, but
Fantastic.
24 minutes to go, so we've got a bit of time to go on this.
Well, Leigh, before you told us of that hand, I was just putting an appeal out to the public, our public. I've got a fan on in the background here. If you guys can hear it, if it's like making a lot of noise or anything, I can't hear that myself, but if it is, can you just let me know in the chat box, and I will, crikey, turn it off.
I've got a fan too. It's Steve 40. I don't know whether you heard the comment he made about when I did the poker raffles draw on my own the other week. I mean, it was he was writing letters in and all sorts of complimenting me on my
You're a fan.
on how it. But anyway, loads to chat through tonight, guys. So great to see plenty of you in the chat box. So we'll follow this satellite right the way through. We're going to have a catch up on Vegas. We'll talk about the latest situation with the fantasy competition. We will get. Steve's been sending me a lot of messages. He wants me to mention a certain pick that was made this week. He was the only one to pick a winner. Yeah,
There's
really,
about 3,000
really
players in the event.
Yeah. I think he's going to get him a pair of socks, or something along those lines. I'd imagine.
Do I have to send the socks that I won 2 years ago to Steve? Because we recycle that stuff, right? It's an eco thing.
That's how it works. So we'll run through all of that as well. We'll keep up to date on the satellite. But I had in my head. So obviously, everyone's heading off to Vegas. Dan Williams, friend of the show, has flown out today. Friend of the show, Natalie Bromley, flies out tomorrow. And should give a congratulations out to Natalie. Finished 5th in the Party Poker Tour Manchester event. Her kind of home
for 5K.
For 5K. She's an ambassador for Party Poker this year with the tour, so doing a lot of work with them, helping to promote that. What's a really cool event. It's got loads of people that we know from APAT days gone by. So Raj, who used to deal at Grosvenor and organise all of the dealers and stuff there, she's part of the team that organise that as well. Rob Needham, who, guys, you might remember from APAC shows in the past. We were promoting Rob's books, and Rob's very much in with those guys up there as well now, and part of that tour as well. So a whole lot of people that APAC players will know and recognise involved in that. But Natalie had a superb result, so that's increased her Vegas bankroll for the next week. She's heading over for the lady. It's kind of ladies' week over in Vegas. Some people who go to Vegas will say, when's it not ladies' week? But hey, that's a different subject altogether. But very much heading over. So I know Natalie's going to be playing the WSOP ladies event. She had a few others on schedule. She's now having a bit of a rethink and going, I want to maybe play some of the maybe less events, but maybe some bigger events and give it a whirl. So good luck to her. Steve is all in with the King Deuce up against the Queen Jack of Hot Rooster, and do you know what? Hot Rooster's got some of those chips back with the Queen Jack. Two pair there is good enough. So well done. But saying loads of people heading out to Vegas, and it got me thinking, Des. It got me thinking. So last week I was asking for recommendations for what's available, poker documentaries and that kind of thing. So we've got some good stuff there, and I've been watching a few bits. But I was thinking this afternoon and go, what's your favourite feature film or TV series that is set in Vegas? So it doesn't have to be totally in Vegas, but as it uses Vegas as a location. So let us know in the chat. What film is it that you watch that just because obviously people are out there at the moment, and so it's good to be. I always like when you see a film with Vegas in the back. It's a nice thing. There's a few of them,
right?
Yeah. I tell you, so what would be on your list if you were going to go and watch something, just to give you a bit of the Vegas vibes?
Looking forward to hearing what the chat says. The one that came to mind when you were just talking through that, which is like probably not a classic Vegas movie. It isn't. But it's reasonably recent, very colourful, was Army of the Dead. I really enjoyed that film. The genre I love.
About that, didn't we? When it came out, didn't we? We talked about that. Yeah, a completely destroyed Vegas, but Yeah, and of course another one with a destroyed Vegas, which it doesn't always get a mention. Con Air.
God, that's going back a while. That is going
Yeah,
back
now,
a while.
but of course, Con Air you don't see Vegas till right towards the very, very end.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
boy, do they when you do, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a proper backdrop to the to kind of the finale of the film. But yeah, curious to know what you guys think. Do let us know. With 5 left in the satellite, and you've still got another 19 minutes if you want to get in. What we should say is, if this gets to 2, it's done. So if you want in and you're leaving it a little bit late to see what's going on, if it gets to 2. But let's just give a quick shout out to who is still there. Chester 1883 is chip leader at the moment. True Baba Yaga, which is Eddie, second in chip. Seymour Tilts as Alan is third. Double Top 40 we mentioned is Steve 40. And Hot Rooster is the short stack at the moment. A couple of players that won seats last week. Wolfie 2369 was playing. 13 Tricks, who is Wendy, has won I think a couple of seats in satellites over the last couple of months. Gave it a whirl, but missing out this time. Alan is going for the treble. So Seymour Tilts, Alan's won a seat the last 2 weeks and is going for 3 in a row, the hat trick. Does he get to keep the chair or something like that if he does 3 in a row, Des? Is that the deal? Yeah, you can take the chair home. Is that how we work it? Yeah.
I think that's the way it works, Lee. If you can get it off the screen, it's yours.
Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Loads of good. Should also give a quick shout out. Normally we're promoting and saying, Grosvenor have got their Vegas packages and great. Nah, they haven't anymore because they're all there.
Yeah, it's done.
They are all out there. Yeah, 20 something odd of them played the Millionaire Maker yesterday. Bunch of them made it through to day 2. Which was playing. Well, it's playing about now, isn't it? So, so good luck to those remaining in that. Would be great if one of them could actually be that Millionaire Maker in that event. Fingers crossed they do quite well. But yeah, it's loads going on with Vegas. We're down to 4 in this satellite, and you've got 17 minutes if you want to get involved and give it a whirl. At the moment, though, 2 of these 4 are going to bag a seat. We could be down to 3. And we're going to be, because Hot Rooster is going to, our short stacks there, we are down to 3.
Wow.
17 minutes of late reg to go. They're all quite stacked. So Chester has got 92 bigs. Alan Seymour Tilts has got 50 bigs. And Steve 40's got 34 bigs. I mean, they're not in any rush here, but I guess when you're only 3-handed, the blinds are going to come round quite quickly. If you want to jump in, there's still a little bit of value here.
What happens here if one of these exits? Do we still have to play on for that late reg time?
No, it'll pay out.
It will close.
Yeah, it will close and pay out. Yeah, so if we lose one more now, then it will close and pay out. So if that's how it plays, that's how it plays.
Technically, the tournament finishes before it, before opening closes. Interesting.
Yeah, we've had that a couple of times. I mean, we put a reasonably decent bit of late reg in, so it starts at 8:00 now. It's 12 levels of late reg, but I mean, we're very generous early on. You start with sort of 250 bigs or something like that, so you've got loads of play early on. Difficulty, is always getting it up and running. But when we normally get it up and running, pretty much we always get there with at least at least a 10. Say last week, 20 entries, 4 seats were won last week. It's a bit hit and miss during these summer months. Lots going on for people.
A couple of things for you, Lee, from the chat box. So straight up, first of all, from Simon, Benny Glazer. Can he get 4 bracelets in one night? It's insane, right?
Incredible.
It's insane what's happening there.
It is incredible.
Nail 3. I mean, why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he be possible for 4? He seems invincible.
We're only halfway through. So, I say halfway through. John's got the leaderboard up to date with 50 events. So I think they're probably playing 52, 53, 54 or whatever at the moment now. But pretty much, let's say we're roughly halfway through, and Benny's already bagged 3. Yeah,
it's just
pretty
insane.
Phenomenal.
It's got to have sorted out the fantasy World Series of Poker event. I mean, if you've got Ben in your team, you're in with a chance. If you don't, yeah, probably not at this point. Are anyone truly clear of the pack, Leigh?
Yeah, so leaderboard at the moment is we've got a new leader at the top. I won't put it up on the screen whilst these guys are playing three-handed, but we'll chat about it. But we'll I'll share the when it's there. But currently Blair Reid is chip. Is chip leader. Well, technically, yeah, he is chip leader, isn't he? I suppose, yeah. He is very much is chip leader with 257 points. That is actually pretty much 30 points ahead of next best, which is Paul Roper on 228. Peter Kelly's got 225. Carl's first team's got 221. Chris Hyam's up there with 219. Talk Club are on 219 as well. Dawn Cook 215. Gaz Howard's got 211. So there's a bunch of players that have got 200 plus points. Obviously that's with Benny's extra Benitos. 25 to come. Yeah. But I would imagine everybody in that top 10 or whatever has probably got Benny Glazer in their team to be already scoring 200 plus. I would imagine. Long way to go yet with it, but I do think that you could easily see the winner hitting could hit 500 points.
It's a big number.
Yeah,
big number.
Could hit. But it's really weird that say a lot of the big hitters are picking up bracelets. I think when we spoke about this last week, and it was about 34 events done, and I said to you about half of those events are first-time bracelet winners, but the rest of them are being won by people that are regular picks in this in this comp. So it's interesting how it's playing out at the moment. Say still a very, very long way to go, and a lot of poker still to be played.
One top player, Leigh, who's flying a little bit under the radar, I feel, but I saw his name on the app. I think it was last night. It was either last night or the night before. Was one Vince Ely, who in a 1500 triple stud or something kind of weird, and I guess this is what Simon is referring to. He seemed to be like in a top 10 position. I don't know how many players were in that. I'm not sure entirely what that event was happening, but Simon may know.
I will. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Maybe that's an event that Benny is continuing to go deep in. If you know anything, if you've got an update on that, Simon, do let us know. The other topic, Leigh, you brought it up, Vegas movies. So Simon says the original Ocean's 11. Very hard to argue with that. Tris does not argue with that either. He says Love Rounders, obviously. But that scene in Ocean's 11 in front of the Bellagio reminds me, right? Reminds me too. So
absolutely.
Classic Vegas movies.
So is that 27 triple draw?
I think, yeah.
Coming up.
Was it like a $1,500 event?
Is it the low ball one? It might be the low ball one.
So Simon is saying starting tomorrow, but I'm sure I saw. Maybe he was top 10 because the event hadn't started. I must admit, if that was the case, I didn't twig, but it kind of was short on information. So yeah. So well done, Vince.
He was one of the
still top 10 alphabetically.
Yeah, he was one of the 10 to be playing it. Is that
he was? He was an early reg and made the APAT show. Best of the rest call out.
That's the only thing with the app is amazing, but what it does lack is the ability to just put a player's name in and see what they're playing. Or now you've got basically got to go into
put a filter on a country. I want to see how the Brits are doing, or the Irish, right? Allow me to filter.
Yeah, but Simon might be able to just to give us a pointer in the right direction. I did see that
the accountant among us.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's what we like to see. I did see, and I'm just going to go and I don't know how you are at the moment with these kind of things, but you see stories and things, and then you forget where it is you saw them and exactly who did what, where, when, and how. But I'm sure an ex APAT champ had a really big score
really
the other day. Yeah I'm just going to go.
I have those problems with my kids. Never mind, sort of.
I'm just going to go and do shout if anything happens in this poker, guys that we're watching. Do let us know. Yeah. Let me just get in and see whether it's been updated on to Enden Mob. Yeah, see whether it's been
on Enden Mob.
On Enden Mob. Yeah, see whether it's been updated there. Oh, I'm still checking whether I'm a human. Honestly, there's no hope. There really isn't.
The Rat Pack, says Simon, the original Vegas movie with the boyos. The Rat Pack. And Steve says, on Netflix, I thought there were 2 on PLO8, Scoop, and another one called High and Low. It's not about PLO8.
Yeah. Right then, let's see whether this has been updated. It doesn't look like it has yet. Now, Matt, I'm now wondering whether I imagined what I saw. So I don't want to say a name yet until I can just confirm whether what I saw was right or not.
You reminded me of a little joke that I once saw, Lee. It was made up of 3 little cartoons, 3 little scenes in one cartoon. There was a guy who was set on a toilet, obviously in his bathroom at home, and he was saying, "Oh, that was a terrible, terrible first experience with mushrooms, right? Oh, I've got diarrhea. It's really, really bad." And then in the second scene, he says, "But at least, I haven't started hallucinating, right? Thank God." And then in the third scene, it shows him that he's on his knees in the town square going to the loo. He's not actually at home at all. So it happens to the best of us, Lee.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can cope with that. That's what it's all about. Oh, Steve 40 is all in.
Here we go.
And he's got that through.
Dara out there on his own without Mr. Lappin, Lee. What are the odds on Lappin showing up kind of late in the series, helmet style?
Well, he's currently playing. He's currently playing the PokerStars Malaga event. So that's where David currently is. I don't know whether that means he's.
So yeah,
so I don't know whether that means he's not planning on playing whether he's not planning on playing the series at all, or whether he's just planning on going out later on.
Wow. Trish says, decent fussy game at the moment. The under-21s, Italy versus Germany. This is in the quarterfinals. It's 2-2 now, apparently. Italy down to 9 and just equalised in the 96th minute. Really? Wow. Crikey. I don't know if you saw England yesterday. I saw you maybe just over half of the game. Spain had a lot of the ball, but the young English team held on well. Good win there against the favourites into the semis.
Isn't it crazy at the moment? So you've got obviously the World Club Championships going on. Then there is a men's under-19s Euros, men's under-21 Euros, women's
early July
under-19s.
Really?
There's an under-19s going on, I think, at the moment. Plus, then obviously women's Euros happening. It's just an insane.
Yeah. What do we do now that the football season is over, Lee?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy at the moment. I can't find confirmation of this, but I was convinced that Yanis Liparis had a big score at somewhere like maybe Aria or the win or something like that, like a 6-figure score. But I cannot find confirmation that is that is true or not.
Wow.
But if anybody else saw that as well, I think I want to say it popped up on like a poker news story on Facebook. But
Could do. I mean, Giannis regularly goes deep and stuff.
Yeah,
he's a good player.
There is just so much, kind of content out there at the moment. It's just insane trying to actually trying to find anything.
Leigh, Tony G. Do you remember Tony G? Think now.
Certainly
Tony
do.
G, South Croydon's own Tony G, is back in the chat box. Evening all. I've not tuned in for a while. What have I missed? Oh, I bet he hasn't heard about Tom Brady winning a bracelet. Our own Tom Brady won a bracelet. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't in poker.
No, it was like one of those little grabber machines down at the amusements. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's all it was.
Plastic thing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Threw it away,
I'm gonna give up trying to find. Oh no, I found it. Oh, it was Grosvenor posting it. It was Grosvenor posting it. Right, that's why I couldn't find it. So, and typical.
Aria.
Not going to tell me exactly. Yeah, it was the Aria. It was Mr. Bounty last night. Yeah.
Look at that.
There we go. I knew I'd seen it somewhere, so it was Grosvenor that posted it. That's why I couldn't find it on the usual spots. So congratulations to him. $172,950, beat a field of 759. And that was including his bounties, so 172k including his bounties. Awesome photo of him. Have you seen these ones now where they manage to get it where they're flicking the two cards and the two cards are in midair and they get the really good looking photo there with BetMGM and the Aria Poker Classic branding behind it. Cool looking photo. That's the type of winner's photo you want. Absolutely. But congratulations to him. Obviously previous APAT world champion.
Yeah, great result, Leigh. But it's not all profit, Leigh. You got to take away that 500. We've just lost the tables. You got to take the €500 or $1 buy-in or $1,000 buy-in. You got to take that away, Leigh. Take it away.
We just lost the table. That's really weird.
We lost the tables. There they are, gone.
Well, bring it back very quickly.
Well played, Mr. Brady. Of course, we're only joking. But someday could happen if he went and played them. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady would be around it.
Yeah, we're not missing anything. The players are on a break actually. There, it's 5 to the hour, which means you've got late reg ends in like about a minute. If you want to try and sneak in,
mad.
And upset these remaining 3.
Can you imagine?
If now is the time to get in there, and you'll have half the stack of Steve 40, but. And a quarter of the stack of the chip leader. But hey, one double up, and all of a sudden you are very much in the game. So if you want to get in, you've got less than a minute.
And it looks like Real Madrid 3-1 up in the 90th minute, Leigh.
They were down to 10 men after 7 minutes.
Very early on. Yeah. But it does look like they've taken the points.
Yeah, so that should be the table back, Des.
Steve says, Leigh, shh.
Yeah. Oh, well, I see Des was convinced his overlay was going to be covered, but this could be Des sticking his hand in the pocket for 28 quid here, if nobody else jumps in.
I'll put out an appeal to the members, Leigh. It'll be fine. They'll cover it.
It'll be fine. We'll be okay. We'll do a GoFundMe page.
We'll have to create merchandise.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see, how long have we got left of this level? Late reg ends in 1 minute. You've got to the end of level 12. They are playing level 12 at the moment. They've played 7 minutes of level 12. There is 1 minute left. If you want to jump in, cause carnage on this final table for these 3 that are all thinking between them that they're probably talking a deal as we speak, Des, in a WhatsApp group somewhere, decided how they're going to chop up 2 seats between the 3 of them. That's what I reckon's going down at the moment. They've barricaded the doors so nobody else can get in, and think they're going to get away with it, but we're not having any of that nonsense going on.
Steve's saying, you 2 can have the seats if I can have the win.
Yeah, that's all he wants. And we know when it comes to wins, you've got to be Steve.
Ba-boom. Encore, please.
Very good, very good. Throwing in the Vegas Vegas vibes tonight. Did you see that Resort World have dropped their resort fees?
Have they now?
Completely. I mean, they're struggling.
Well, I was gonna
That for a
say, it's
little
not-
while they've been really, really struggling, and they're in just a really weird place on the strip.
Yeah.
To be honest, they're just a little bit out there, and
Bit
it's
far
really
down,
strange
aren't
for
they?
a new venue to do that. But yeah, they're out there, and yeah, their late reg is closed, and someone snuck in. Who is it? It's Tristan.
No,
Tristan
good
saved.
man, good man.
Did you ship him money?
Shush!
Did
I
you
never
take
shipped
him
money in
there?
my life, Lee.
Yeah.
Don't start that rumor.
Right then, let's see whether Tristan can shake it up. There's 4 of them left then. They're playing for 3 seats. Tristan is the short stack. But he's sitting down, so blinds are now 200, 400. He's sitting down with 5,000. So he's got about 12 bigs once the hand kicks in. Yeah, he's not in a bad spot. 12 and a half bigs then. Let's see what he can do.
Steve's not happy, Lee. He's not happy with you.
We're all
Not
rooting
happy.
for Tristan now. You know, we're all rooting for Tristan to do this. But yeah, so back on the Resorts World. So yeah, they've always struggled a little bit where they are located. It's a lovely venue down there. Robbie's run a number of his mixed game festivals down there. He's flicked between Resorts World and Bellagio. But yeah, they've this week announced they're getting rid of resorts, and there's not many on the strip that won't charge you a resort fee. The only one I know of, and it's not really on the strip, is the Virgin Hotel that used to be the Hard Rock Hotel. If you book through Virgin Holidays as a package, so your flight and your hotel there, they don't charge resort fees on your deal there, so you can get pretty good deals with them. But they're just a little bit they're just say a little bit further away. It's probably a 15-minute walk from that hotel to say Planet Hollywood. So, but you get to go past the F1. So that road is where the F1 paddock and everything is on the road between Planet Hollywood and the Virgin Hotel. But yeah, it's interesting. So Tristan into his first hand, and Alan Ellis is taking no nonsense, going, "I'm not letting you see a cheap flop, Tris. We're not having any of this nonsense going on. We're going to make you pay if you want to do that." So question from Steve 40. Yeah.
What are resort fees?
Resort
it's a good
fees?
question.
Well, so basically, everyone sees cheap hotels in Vegas, and you think, "Oh, it's $39 a night. That's great." Well, it is. Apart from every single hotel on the strip will charge a resort fee, which is just basically an additional nightly charge for booking a room. They'll package it up as giving you access to the pool and the Wi-Fi and the whatever else they want, but basically they charge, and they vary from sort of $30 to maybe $50 a night, and basically that it's just an additional charge. So if you think you're getting the room for, I don't know, $39 or something like that, you're probably paying another $35 on resort fees as well, with taxes on top. Now, some of when you're looking to book Vegas hotels, some of them will give you an all-in price. Others are a little bit more sneaky about it, and so you then find that you're having to pay the resort fee to the hotel when you get there. Some of the rewards cards that you can get, when you get to a certain level, you can get resort fee kind of cancelled. So if you've got diamond status with Caesars, for example, you don't pay any resort fees at all. They waive those for you. So yeah, it varies on different. And sometimes when you're getting a room comped. So sometimes you can get a room for free if you've maybe been playing a bit of poker, doing whatever, gambling or whatever you've been playing there. But still, they might give you the room for free, but they'll still charge you for they'll still want their resort fee money from you. Yeah, for the air that you breathe. And that's the way Vegas has gone in recent years. And as Simon says, they've started charging for parking used to be pretty much free everywhere on the strip. They've all started charging for parking. So we're seeing costs, basically them trying to get in as much income as they possibly can. But it's starting to tip. So you're starting to see some deals come back, and the reality that if they're not filling, because visitor numbers are down this year, So that's not good for Vegas. They want the place full. So sometimes you go, well, okay, we'll knock a bit off there. For somewhere like Resorts World, they want to get people in. Resorts World is located at the one end of the strip, the other end to the airport, and there's kind of it is kind of the last one. Although I think Circus is, if that's even still open, is down that way as well. But there's not a huge amount down there, more or less. Somebody can tell me any different. So you kind of, once you get to the Wynn, you can walk to Resorts World in about 10 minutes if you get the right corner of the Encore. But Stratosphere,
not the
there's
high
there's
volume
not a huge amount.
casinos.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not really getting the footfall down there, which is a shame because it's a really nice setup down there. So a few different hotel brands there in Resorts where there's a Hilton down there, and can't think what the other one is in there. But yeah, look, really nice place. I've been down there, and you say played a bit of poker down there. It's nice one area to be.
The only thing you might add, though, just for reality, and I suppose it's a bit like if EasyJet did hotels, right? Kind of, it's a bit like that. Steve mentions, is it a bit like the city tax in Europe? Yeah, kind of, but much more expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It is kind of. Massively more expensive.
Massively more expensive.
I think at the moment, like Manchester's charging like what £1.50 or £2 a night. I think is now Manchester's charge, which is paying for the flowers in the park or whatever. Yeah.
The reality is, if you take a step back from it, I think the reality is that in the majority of those hotels, which are very high quality hotels with super big rooms, great service, they all have casinos. I mean, you needn't step out of the place if you want, and some of us have done that. Even with the pain of resort fees, they're still relatively cheap in the grand scheme.
Oh
of
no,
things.
they are.
Do you know?
I could get a deal. So bear in mind, I've not been to Vegas for 2 years now, and I could go and book a week in the Bellagio.
Yeah.
For about a double room for about $700. That was resort fees in. So I think
that's
four
like
of the nights.
100 a day in a top hotel.
Yeah, and bear in mind you can share the rooms. A double. And not say it's not a tiny twin room. They're big old suites.
They're big old rooms, aren't
they? So you could pay $50 a night each to share a room for 7 nights at the Bellagio. That's all in, resort fee all covered and everything else. I think 4 of the nights were comped, and the other 3 were with a massive discount on the room rates. And then you're basically just paying a little bit plus the resort fees because they want to get you in. And I'm not a massive gambler or anything like that or anything. I don't think anyone would ever call me a high roller.
No, don't play at all, Lee. No game. But that time 2 years ago when we went. And obviously we shared that room 3 ways. It was you, it was me, it was Andy Black, the 3 of us, $33 a piece. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was fine. Couldn't
get the money out of Andy. Yeah. Couldn't get the money out of him.
Really annoying. I mean, Andy gets through towels, doesn't he, when he has a shower in the morning? It's really frustrating. It's like I have to keep asking for more time, which is why you pay a resort fee. They'll come and do that for you. That's what you're after. But you're seeing these kind of things with hotels is a funny one. But even in the UK. A lot of them now, when we go away to APAT a weekend, it's you go and stay at the Premier Inn in Stratford, and like you've got to ask them if you want your room, if you want your room cleaned or serviced, you need to actually request it now. It's crazy. Crazy. Steve's asking, is it 3 seats now or still 2?
He's not happy with you, Lee.
It's only 2. It was only ever 2. I don't know where he thought 3 was going to come from. We needed another 5 runners to get to 3. It's 2, unfortunately, and Tristan is doing a nice job of just chipping away there. There you go, Simon saying first with $25 a day with free. With the free breakfast is the one though, isn't it? Because I'll tell you what, if you're on the Strip, there's not many places you can go and get a breakfast that's not going to cost
huge buffet. Right? It's always a huge breakfast.
But a breakfast that's not going to cost you at least $20. You're going to have to go off Strip if you want any. If you want even a half decent breakfast, you even go to somewhere like One of my favourite breakfast spots is Egg Sluts in the Cosmopolitan, which is just like a fancy McDonald's is the best way to describe it. But the queues there are insane every morning. You get down there at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they're already queuing, waiting for the place to open. But it is just proper fancy McDonald's is what you basically get. Like you get like like a muffin, egg muffin and bacon. But yeah, you'll do $25 by the time you've had a tea and an orange juice and a muffin or something like that. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Get your brekkie in the hotel. By the time you've finished in the buffet, you've gone up 3 or 4 times, right, full plate, the lot. Well, by the time you get back to your room, you've worked it all off, right? Because your room is a long way away from that breakfast place.
We've lost Steve Forty. He's gonna hate me for a long time.
Straight offline.
He's been done by Chester, who's now looking really comfortable with 60 bigs. Tristan is all in. Is Alan going to give this a whirl and get this over with, or not? It's not going to. I'll tell you my top tip for Vegas. If you like your cup of tea in the morning, or your 2 cups of tea, or your 3 cups of tea, or you like drinking tea all day long, like some of us do, whatever is first thing I do these days. So take tea bags over with me. Yeah. Straight down to Walgreens. Yeah. $20 for a kettle, for a travel kettle.
Yeah.
And a quart of milk.
Yeah.
Back to the room.
Look at that.
Tea making facilities done for the entire trip for $25. Whereas if you go down to a Starbucks or any of the coffee shops and just want a hot tea, they'll charge you $5 minimum for it. So you basically saved yourself the trouble and just leave either leave the kettle in the room and they will recycle or do whatever with it, or if you've got the time, go and drop it off at at one of the charities in Vegas that will quite happily take that kit for people that need it, and they'll reuse it. So
me, Lee.
Perfectly works well.
I'm straight down to the pawn shop looking for $2. I want $2 for this kettle, man.
I was going to say, you sticking it back in your
Chum Lee. I want $2.
Heading back with it. Yeah.
It's not good from Steve. He flopped 2 pair. Chester made a better 2 pair on the turn. Sick. We're out. As Simon generously said, tilted it off.
That is what is known as checkmate for Chester.
Unlucky, my friend. Good effort again.
Now, on the list of Vegas,
you can read this. You'll appreciate that one, Lee.
Brilliant.
In a pint.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, yeah. Paul and I first time out to Vegas. Very much. There's certain ways of requesting what we would class as just a cup of just a standard tea that shouldn't. Yeah, but in America, it's the way you word it means you'll get the right thing. You word it anything differently, and you are literally playing roulette with what you get served. It is quite interesting. So anyway, on the Vegas destinations locations thing. So I did do a quick look up on this just to see. Well, I wonder what if I type this into Google, what's it going to give me? And a few on the list that nobody's mentioned yet. The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. Nobody's mentioned that. Nobody's mentioned Showgirls, which I believe is is just a ridiculous film of all sorts. There's some other ones which I are on the list, which I kind of want to go. I call that can't necessarily be right. Is that frozen on our screen, or are we going? No, I thought the poker had frozen for a minute, but we seem to be up and running. But Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is on the Google list as well, and I'm like, I don't remember Vegas in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but maybe it was.
Hangover, of course, Lee.
Yes, The Hangover is a great show.
And that was a classic one, right?
Yeah. Right. I'm just looking when I flick screens, the
Oh, does it pause?
The poker freezes. Hang on a minute. Let me minimize that down and do it a different way, and then it won't pause. There we go. Then it won't pause on me. So so a few in there that the game obviously. We mentioned the Hangover. I think we mentioned the Ocean's films. Here's a good one for you. Diamonds Are Forever.
No, I wouldn't have put them together. I haven't seen that for a long time.
Yeah, James Bond film with the Westgate Hotel was used as the can't think of the name of the guy of the evil the guy. It's the guy that actually didn't exist. He was the businessman I think it was Blofeld was the guy was the enemy, but I can't think of it. Is it Willard White? Is it was the guy?
Yeah, could well have been.
Willard White, I think. Yeah. So apparently that was the Westgate was used as the location for that one. We mentioned Con Air, one of my favorite films. I read the book first and then watched the film. I don't know whether you've seen it. 21.
Yes, great film.
Which is the film MIT, about the MIT students basically with the blackjack school, based on a book by Ben Mesrick called I want to say Bringing Down the House or
I think it's like that. I read the book as well. Great book.
I bet you I've got it on my bookshelf somewhere if I can find it. Or was it Breaking Vegas? No, it is Bringing Down the House. There we go. There it is. So there you go.
Yeah.
That one there. Ben Mesrick, really, really good. A couple of others that he did. Ugly Americans is another good one, and Breaking Vegas is another one as well. So yeah, well worth checking those out if you want. But yeah, so there was a few. Bugsy, obviously, was set in Vegas a bit as well. So yeah, a whole bunch on the list. I quite enjoyed the. I got into the. Is it CSI? They did a Vegas version of.
There was a Vegas one of
that.
Those.
That was quite cool.
Leaving Las Vegas says Psy. Was that Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
Was that Nicolas Cage?
Yes. Yeah.
Fear and Loathing.
Did we mention Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? Actually, is Fear and Loathing the one which is Nicolas Cage, or is that?
Could be. I can't remember now. Of course, you mentioned Lee. You mentioned the Westgate.
No. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is Johnny Depp. And Leaving Las Vegas was Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage. So. You mentioned the Westgate. Of course, fairly recently we had the Elvis biopic, and of course the Westgate was the international where Elvis did his thing.
Really enjoyed that as well. Tristan All In still got himself sort of 12 bigs, which is what he sat down and started with, and we're going to have moved up a level or two by now. So Tris is heading along well. Seymour Tilts Allen has got 16 bigs, so they're the two that are really at risk here. Chester, to a certain extent, with 53 bigs, could afford to double one of them up and not be a massive dent. And what that would obviously then do would then have two bigger stacks bullying the really short stack. So in a way, for Chester here, it's kind of nothing lost to not just go for it, because if you happen to run into a hand and double one of the other two up, well, you all of a sudden then just make it 2-on-1. So, but if you bust one of the others, then it's game over. So Chester's in a really nice position here to just go, well, actually, I might just as well play aggressive with this stack, and worst case scenario, I double one of the other two up, and then we can both go at the short stack. So
Stevie says, High Roller, the Stu Unger story. And we know Steve's a big fan of Stu Unger. Lee, it's a good shout. With F1 and what have you and all of that movies, we have to be due a good poker movie, surely. Whether there's a tech element or a scandal element, full tilt.
Of course, the new F1 film, a lot of it was filmed in Vegas. So huge amount of it over 2 years. So over the first two Grand Prix, I'm in it in one of them somewhere. You'll see me I'm in the background. But yeah, definitely, I'm definitely in the
trailer.
background.
I saw you in Brad Pitt's trailer.
Yeah. I mean, I got done for that. Apparently they're not keen on that.
I heard
you
got done for it.
Yeah. So yeah, but reason why I haven't been back to Vegas since. It's a bit of a sore subject, really.
You're
to be
out,
honest,
son. You're out.
Yeah, it's funny. You go through the ESTA list. Are you a terrorist? If you've been to Iran, I don't know why they are worried about Iran. I've no idea. But anyway, and then it says have you tried to break into Brad Pitt's trailer? And I had to tick yes to that one.
Always fail on that.
Here we go. Ace Jack in a good spot, and Tristan's going to get a double up. So maybe Chester was listening to what I was saying and is now regretting. So sorry if you don't ever. By now, you should know, if Matt Dale's not told the entire world, never listen to what Des and Leigh recommend doing whilst we're doing one of these live streams. Tristan, Mr. Last Minute Late Reg, is now second in chips and is very much eyeing up a seat here. And it's going to be Alan who's going for the hat trick, who is short stack, who's got 12 bigs. Tristan applies the pressure. Alan's going to make the call with the ace king. Oof. It's 8-9 for Tristan, and the all sorts is out there. The spade has hit on the river. And it's done. It's done.
Wowzers.
It is done. Unbelievable. Chester. Yeah, you did double up Tristan, and but you've got your seat, and Tristan has managed to take a seat as well. So congratulations to him. I will now we've got that over with. I'll quickly bring up the fantasy leaderboard so we can have a look, and I can show you who is where with that. Whilst we just say, well done to you guys, and lucky to you, Alan. I feel slightly that my coaxing of somebody else to join that has resulted in both Steve and Alan missing out on it. Alan's won a seat the last 2 weeks though, Des. I mean, hey, come on, congratulations to you, Tris. That is the way to do it. Late Reg.
Did Tris win one on Poker Raffles last week?
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did.
He's on a roll too.
Yeah, he's on a roll. Hopefully, buy some more tickets, Tris. We got the same thing on Poker Raffles tomorrow night. We've got a Dust Till Dawn Summer 2025 seat worth £560. Tom Thorpe is Chester. Excellent. Hey, great stuff, Tom. Well done. Congratulations to you, Tom. You've bagged yourself a seat, so well done indeed. Very nicely played. Well, Tom wouldn't have taken my advice. Definitely not. He'll have ignored anything I said. Absolutely will have ignored anything I said, quite rightly too. Yeah, but we've got 2 draws tomorrow night. We can win APAT seats. You've got a 560 WCOAP package if you want to use it for that. There are 2 other DTD events you can use it for as well if you want to. And we've also got our regular APAT Players' Choice seat. Both got draws with £1 tickets if you want to get involved in that. But yeah, let's quickly say I briefly talked about this earlier on. Blair Reid is currently out in front after 50 results have been posted. So we're halfway stage in the results being posted, but we know we've got, for example, Benny Glaser, a third bracelet points to go on this. But yeah, it's looking, it's a lot of teams scoring a lot of points. If you think about it, there's about 40 odd teams there that have only got 100 points between them, and that doesn't take much for all of a sudden a couple of your players to start going on a bit of a run. And we see that happen, don't we? A player, gets a result and then all of a sudden into another one, or for some of them it might be that it's enough of a score that they'll go and play more stuff that they were going to play, and all different ways of it working. Yeah. But let's go in and have a look at Blair's team. So and we can have a look. There we go. How about that? Don't even need to go anywhere. Middle of the screen for you there. So he's got Benny Glaser. He's got Brian Rast as well. He's got Dean Eggs.
A bracelet as well, didn't he? A couple of days ago.
Yeah. Dean Eggs is obviously not won a bracelet, but has got close and is also picking up plenty of points. He's got Joe Vieira, who I dropped from my team this year because I just thought, I don't think he's going to do anything. And then he's picked up a bracelet. John Hennigan's scored him just a few points. Nick Shulman's picked up a bracelet. Phil Helmuth got very close. the other day, but not quite there. But still, 22 points from Phil Hellmuth is pretty decent. I guess Mizrachi's probably a bit disappointing so far. Scott Seaver was going deep in. He was like in the top 5 chips in something, but has then ended up just cashing in it. So, and obviously Sean Deeb doing what Sean Deeb does, which is he's another one that I dropped for this year. I just thought he wouldn't have that good a series, but he's bagged 40 points again without winning a bracelet yet. But any of those, obviously Benny Glazer's going to be looking good for kind of player of the series at the moment.
God,
but in saying that, he's only had 3 bracelets and 1 cash, Des. I mean, I don't,
tough.
do you know what I mean? It's if you've got somebody that's, picking up a similar number of points, but across a lot more events, I guess they're going to score more points in the way these player of the series things work.
There aren't going to be too many scoring more points than Benny at this point.
Well, there's already people in the sort of 40s and 50s mark. So it only takes one of them to pick up a bracelet, and they're pretty close. And as I say, if you think Sean Deeb's already on 40 points without winning one. Okay. I thought I saw that then. So Scott Seaver did final table one in the end. Yeah. So, but obviously they won't have been added yet because John's normally just a couple of days behind when the results. Obviously, he does the updates on the group when the kind of results are done, and then it gets updated on here a few days later. But a long way to go at the moment. But all very much to play for with the.
Tony G's got a beautiful question here, Lee. Let me frame this for you. He says, how deep can you lads go on the stats on poker raffles? I reckon I'm up there for the most tickets bought without a winning. So since the site launched, without winning. So I would say, Tony, our advice would be don't buy all of your tickets over a lot of events. Buy all of your tickets in one event. You have a far better chance. Thank you.
I think you're. So what he's thinking he's bought the most tickets without winning.
Oh, don't go into the back office. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I will say.
I call on that.
Every draw is a new draw.
Yeah.
Don't call. No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Every draw is a new draw. So unfortunately, if you kind of, you can be on a losing streak and it doesn't necessarily change with the next draw. But we have seen lots of people win, which is great. And a few people have actually won an inordinate amount, I would say, Lee. But maybe buying a few more tickets.
Yeah, poker raffles has cost me a fortune, and I've not won yet. So if that's any help to you, I'm still hoping I'm gonna win. Tristan won last week he bought like 10 all block.
He did. He bought 10 in a row.
Like 50, he put all the 50s and just went, that'll do for me. That's the way to do it.
But that was 10 tickets out of how many did we do for APAT?
180.
180. So 10 out of 180. You can see the odds.
Yeah, so he's an 80.
And it's a tenner for an APAT seat.
Yeah.
It's worked out well.
Yeah. And Tris has spent 30 tonight and won another APAT seat. So he's on a tidy little roll. And that's what you say. That's what you want to do. And you want that bit of momentum. As we were talking earlier on about Natalie having a good result in Manchester this weekend, going to Vegas tomorrow. Yeah, that's what you want. A bit of momentum and a bit of confidence.
Bit of roll.
And there's nothing worse if it's just not kind of going that well for you. Should give a shout out to a couple of the guys that are out there. So Danny Weaver and Pete Wigglesworth are both out in Vegas at the moment, rooming together. Currently in the Horseshoe at the moment, so they're staying there. Danny cashed in his first two tournaments out there, two WSOP events as well, cash for $3,600 in the Monster Stack, and then Min cashed the seniors for another $2,000. Is playing the what's the one today, which is the different age ranges that one starts on one and one side. Battle of the Ages or whatever it's called.
I saw something about that. I didn't understand it, I have to say.
Yeah,
but,
Pete's
cool.
having a bit of a tougher tougher time. Pete plays a lot more of the mixed games, so he's out there playing a lot more of the kind of the big O and the draw games and things like that, finding it a little bit more of a tough run, and got a really tasty schedule out there. Fingers crossed for him. He gets a few cashes in the bag before heading back next week. I think they're due back, but either way, they're having a great run.
That's hilarious. Tony's going to buy 150 £1 tickets for the next APAT £140 draw. That's hilarious. I think it's at 10%. 10% is the most you can buy, Lee.
10%.
So if it's 180 tickets, you can buy 18. But that
we cap it at 10.
Hilarious.
Yeah. But the DTD summer draw is an awesome one to buy some tickets for if you haven't. So we started that last week. It's a second draw this week. So it basically you can use whoever wins can use it for either a DTD series main event seat, which is running in July. That's got a 200,000 guarantee. You can use it for £560 worth of WCOAP credit. So we're up at Dusk Till Dawn in August, and we'll basically we'll put credit behind the cash desk, and you just play whatever one of the 20 odd events we've got, 21 I think going on. You can play that, or you can use it for the UKPC summer edition that's happening the week after we're up there. So when we finish with the WCAP, the following week they start the UKPC. That's got a 500,000 guarantee. So the winner can use it for any of those events that they want. So we're pretty much going to be running these for the next couple of months. So £1 tickets, and it will get you a £560 prize to use for whichever event you fancy giving it a whirl for. I think £560 worth of seat credit for the WCOAP is fantastic.
Take a lot of pressure off, right?
That's your main event seat. Shot at that, go. A 140 side event, couple of £70 side events. All of a sudden, you've had 3 or 4 days worth of poker at Dusk Till Dawn with us in August. Well worth doing. I saw that this week the teams are starting to get announced for the international event. So I see England have confirmed. So Lisa's out there with that team. I see John has confirmed the Welsh team. I saw Ben's confirmed the Scottish team as well. I think the Swiss team has been confirmed. The American team has been confirmed. So starting to build up quite nicely. That's always good fun. In August, looking forward to getting that out there. And once we've got all the countries confirmed and we know who the runners and riders are, it will be really good fun indeed. Well, I guess, Des, we're an hour done. We've got 2 winners in the satellite. We've had a bit of a chat about the fantasy league. We've got I've got a nice hit list of some films that are going to go and give me some Vegas vibes. That was good fun. Cheers for getting involved. I might go back and watch a couple of those I've seen before, but I haven't seen. I fancy watching, maybe Leaving Las Vegas or Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas again, because it's been a while since I've watched those. So I might well give. And actually, I only watched the Elvis biopic a couple of years. Well, when did that? Last year it probably came out on Sky Movie. But I might well go and watch that again, because that's
it was classic. There was some classic early scenes.
Really good,
amazing stuff.
And I am going to watch Rounders again. I haven't watched Rounders for a long time, but again, that's just another absolute classic one to watch. So well worth it.
Just give Casino Royale a skip, Lee.
Well, the trouble with the Casino Royale is you sit there and watch the poker. You sit there and watch the poker scene, and for anybody that knows their poker, it's one of the most predictable things you can watch. It's just shocking, isn't it?
It's a brutal bad beat, Lee.
Yeah, it is. I tell you what I did catch last week was a documentary I think it was on YouTube, which was following I think is it called Ultimate Stack? I think it is. And it was during the WPT maybe last year in December.
Oh, so were they passed the stack?
And they passed the stack. So they had a qualifier who they started
you onto that.
with.
It was a great doc.
It was amazing. Great. And so I watched that, and that was thoroughly enjoyed that. Yeah. And basically, once that player bust, whoever had the stack, they then started following them. Really really clever.
Follow
really good fun to follow the chips and see what happened. And thoroughly enjoyed that. So thank you for that. That was well worth.
That was one of the good ones.
And that's available on YouTube. You can just it's
definite
no
recommended.
bother whatsoever.
Leigh, one thing I watched last week, I watched a whole season of it in the evenings. Went back and watched the first series of Long Way Round with Charlie and Ewan McGregor going around on their bikes. And while it was grainy, sort of grainy, definitely production has moved on since 2000. What was it, 2002? Still a great watch.
So the first two of those are brilliant, and again, the grainy because you're watching them back. Obviously the most recent two, I think are Apple supported on Apple TV. So the one they did on electric. But have you watched all of them?
Yes, I have.
So far. Have you watched the most recent one, or are you waiting for it all to drop?
No, I've watched it.
See, I'm waiting for it to. I'm waiting for it to
all
finish.
Done, isn't it? Is it all done?
No.
Okay,
unless the last
I need
one
to
dropped
catch
last
up.
week.
I need to catch up on maybe the last one or two episodes. I thought
no. I don't think, unless it's just finished last week. But I've been waiting for it all to drop, so I'll watch it all in one hit.
Oh, it's really good. The production is so much
better. They are
brilliant.
They are brilliant series, and if it doesn't make you want to just get there with your best mate and both go and get bikes and just go around the world, I don't know what will. It's phenomenal. A really, really good series.
There's one scene, Leigh, I won't spoil, but it's way up north, right? Way up north. It's a very remote place. It looks absolutely beautiful. Lots of red sort of wooden houses and stuff like that. And they go onto this beach. It's like a camping destination, and they talk to the owner of it. And you've just got people going in. It's freezing. It's obviously freezing cold. If there's a fire on the beach, people just going in swimming and stuff. But it just looks like heaven on earth.
I mean the one where they do the electric bikes up from South America. I mean some of those bits where they're finding somebody's house and trying to get the bikes through the windows so they can because they were warm enough that they could charge the electric bike. Just incredible. Really, really good production quality. Well worth checking out for anyone that hasn't. I think we're done then, Mr. D.
I think we'll close it out.
So next week.
Thanks everyone for joining us. 'Twas good fun. Unlucky Steve, but great game of poker. We'll be back, of course, Sunday night. We'll do it all again. Before then, if you want to take a stab at an APAT seat or a DTD Player's Choice seat, which, as Leigh said, offers some wonderful options, then poker raffles tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. We're going to draw a couple of winners.
And don't forget, if you want to play this satellite next Sunday, you can win your £30 ticket any night of the week you like. So if you've got some spare time, spin it up from one. Or there's a free roll every day which gets you £1 tickets. So you could do it from a free roll into a £1, £1 into a £5 into a 30. No expiry on those. So if you want to then fire a couple of bullets on the Sunday night because there's good value, or you just got a bit unlucky and you want to give it another go, build your tickets up. If you don't then want to use them for APAT, you can use them for any of the Grosvenor satellites. So that's the beauty of this. And it's whatever night you're free. So if you've got a quiet night during the week, jump in, play a couple of the satellites, get yourself some tickets, get you some £1 into fivers, hold the fivers, and then use the fivers on a Sunday to try and get a 30. Loads of ways to do it, as I keep saying week after week, and sorry if it gets boring, but I genuinely believe this is our best satellite structure we've ever got, the most flexible one we've ever had in 20 years of APAT doing online events with partners. This is as good as it gets, and we're guaranteeing 2 seats every single Sunday to use for any event. It's not that it's got to be Liverpool in 4 weeks' time. No, you can use it for anything you like. So bag it, use it for Portsmouth, Leeds, Glasgow in the autumn, use it for the World, use it towards going to Malta. Whatever you want to do with it is entirely up to you. So why wouldn't you get on here and play on a Sunday night and like the guys have done tonight?
There you go, guys. Choice is your watchword. Right, have a great week. If we don't see it tomorrow night, hopefully we will. If not, hopefully